Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland.
There will be lots of drama, that is for sure. The gloves are off.
Attacke.
What amazing battles going on.
Da musst du alles auf den Punkt bringen.
Oh my goodness.
Da wird's eng. Wow, da geht einer massiv fliegen.
What an amazing move.
Das ist Rennsport at its best.
Welcome to the seaside. Well, it's not exactly a glorious day for sitting on the beach. That's just as well, because we are across the road at Circuit Zandvoort. Hello, everybody. Welcome to round 3 of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. There's a lot of clouds around in the sky, not quite the sunny conditions that we were enjoying yesterday when qualifying happened for races 5 and 6 of this 2024 season of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. We hope it's going to stay dry. It's pretty windy too, but we are so excited to be here. One of the absolute highlights of the calendar. We are at Circuit Zandvoort in the Netherlands on the North Sea coast, and we are getting ready for race 5 of a 16-race season for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Last time you joined us, that was about 5 or 6 weeks ago. We were in Germany, in Oschersleben, and it was there that we saw our newest winner in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. That man there on the left-hand side of your picture, Robert de Haan, became the youngest ever winner in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. And with this being his local track, he's expecting plenty from that P2 starting position. But look who is on pole position. Yes, the most successful man in the history of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, Larry Tenforde, also a local driver who starts on pole position. Britain's Harry King has got an awful lot of work to do. He is starting from 6th place, but he is the points leader at the moment. He leads Larry Tenforde in the championship by just 7 points. So this race is going to be really, really important for him as he tries to extend that championship lead. It's going to be hard work because he's in 6th. The man in 2nd in the championship, Larry Tenforde, is starting on pole position. Nathan Sharp, you've just seen him there. He starts P5. Absolutely great qualifying from him. Another of the local drivers. There's a lone German driver in the midst of a lot of Dutch drivers and a Brit. That is Theo Overhaus, absolute superstar, up and coming in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. His best results so far has been a couple of 4th places, and that was at Oschersleben last time. He's looking to improve on that, as is that man there, Hu van Eindhoven, another of the local drivers, a Dutch driver, 3rd in the championship at the moment, looking for his first win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. He's about 32 points adrift of championship leader Harry King, and he's got to work his way past that man there, Robert de Haan, the driver who has been stealing the headlines. He has arrived here like a tornado. We had one of those on Thursday when we arrived at the circuit. I'm pleased to see that those have moved on anyway. But Robert de Haan, who was here last year in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, and he won the race here in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux last year. The other winner in the Benelux series last year was Ariel Levy. He's had his first ever win in that series. He's in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany this year. He's got a lot of work to do, though. He's going to be starting from 11th on the grid. He had a fairly difficult time in free practice. In the first free practice session, made fairly heavy contact with the fence. The team had to rebuild the car. He's qualified mid-order. He was the first ever Israeli driver to stand on the Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup podium at Oschersleben a few weeks ago, and he would love to do the same here at Zandvoort. He loves this circuit. It is a circuit that drivers either love or hate. A fearsome track which is 4.259 kilometers around. It is 2.646 miles, 14 turns, 10 to the left and 10 to the right and 4 to the left. There was just confirmation of the points championship that we've been talking about. What a great angle on Harry King we have. The cameras are pointing everywhere as we get ready for this, the formation lap of this race 5 of the season. We've got a lot of Dutch drivers here at this race. It's 7 Dutch drivers in total and a big crowd here, part of the DTM package for this event on this circuit, which is fearsome. You can see the corner that is on the right-hand side of your screen there. That's turn 3, 19 degrees of banking. In the background there, the final turn, turn 14, with 18 degrees, effectively extending the pit straight because the drivers can get a good exit from turn 13, flat out round 14. A good way to overtake. Right, Larry Tenforder on pole position, Robert De Haan alongside Huub van Eindhoven and Theo Overhaus occupying row 2 of the grid. On row 3, Nathan Sharp and Harry King, championship leader. A lot of work to do from there. On row 4, Janis Stiak and Flint Schering, another of the local heroes, following in the footsteps of his older brother, Cas Havercourt. He has been so impressive, as has Alex Tauscher. They line up on row 5 of the grid. Row 6, Israel's Ariel Levy with Sebastian Freimert. Good qualifying from him on row 6. On row 7, James Kellett from the UK was disappointed with his qualifying. Senna van Serlen keeping him company on that row. Behind them, Gianluca Tucharoglu had a troubled time in free practice. Colin Bernighausen also in the Benelux this weekend. Horst Felix Felbermeyer and Ahmed Al-Shahab. He's the fastest of the Pro-Am drivers, followed by the youngest driver in the field, Keanu Bloom, and Marvin Clan. He's a long way back, a lot of work to do from there. Karel Kraut and Søren Spreng, the leader of the Pro-Am Championship. He had a difficult qualifying as well. Michael Esman, Jan Seifert lining up on the back row of the grid. If you're new to Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup, this is a sprint race. It's all about the energy, short and sharp. 30 minutes plus 1 lap of racing. No pit stops, no tyre changes, of course, unless it rains. No balance of performance, nothing like that. It is gloves off, gladiators in the arena, proper old school racing on an old school circuit. We have been so excited to come here to Zandvoort. So many Dutch drivers in the field, and they are really excited to be here as well to entertain the many Dutch fans who are lined up around this circuit. You can see the black clouds in the background. We have everything crossed that the rain is going to stay away as the drivers come out of 14 to take their place on the grid. So as I mentioned already, out of turn 14, the drivers can take that pretty well flat out around 14 because of that banking. Along the pit straight, best overtaking opportunity is into turn 1, the wonderfully named Tarzan turn. The rest of the track, there are overtaking opportunities, but I have to tell you, old school circuit, lots of gravel traps, and once the drivers get into the gravel trap, they ain't coming out again. They do exactly what they say. They stop the cars. So not a lot of runoff areas. Don't expect too many track limits issues here this weekend at Circuit Zandvoort. The crowd stand to their feet. The noise is absolutely deafening here out on the pit straight. Jan Seifert moving into position. Our eyes will shortly turn towards the gantry as we get ready for what will be the 5th race of a 16-race season for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. 5 lights on, 5 lights off. We are go. Larry Tenforder moving across to try and block Robert De Haan, but De Haan quickest off the line into turn 1. Larry Tenforder down into 2nd place. That is not what Larry Tenforder had in mind when he got out of bed this morning. Towards turn 2, and then it'll be onto the banking of turn 3. Robert De Haan leading Larry Tenforder. The drivers all taking different lines through this tricky corner. Theo Overhaus had a great start as well. Huub van Eindhoven has dropped a position at the start of the race. So Theo Overhaus looking for his first podium in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. So 30 minutes plus 1 lap of racing. Sensation already. Robert De Haan has got the jump on the most successful man in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, Larry Tenforder. The rest of the cars coming, filing through. We're going to get settled down now. Looks as though Huub van Eindhoven is losing positions. Harry King moving forwards as well. He started 6th. He knew he had a lot of work to do from further back on the grid after a difficult qualifying session. He will want to get up with Larry Tenforder, who is one of his main championship rivals, the man who is in second place in the championship. So the car's just settling down. A lot of jostling for positions in the opening few moments, but Robert De Haan has already opened up a gap on Larry Tenforder. Out towards turn 13 they come, onto 14, up onto the 18-degree banking. There's Marvin Clan just challenging Horst Felix Felbermayr as well. He's got a lot of work to do from there. He is a championship contender, but starting all the way back down in 20th position, he's got a lot of work to do. There is Harry King taking a completely different line along the pit straight. Now out across the start-finish line they come. Robert De Haan already has 1 second on Larry Tenforder in second place. Theo Overhaus in third. Harry King in fourth. Hu van Eindhoven, not a great start from him, down to fifth place. He was hoping for better than that. Janis Stiak for Timo Bernhardt's team. Teammate to the race leader, Robert De Haan, is in sixth place. And then it's Flint Schuring, Alex Tauscher, good start from him. Not a great start from Nathan Sharp. He's down into ninth. And Cas Havercourt in 10th place. So an incident was noted between Sebastian Freimut and Cas Havercourt. There is no further action. Didn't see what that might have been, but at the moment, everything is all set fair. Zoran Spreng has got the jump on Ahmed Al-Shihab, the driver who started the pole position on the Pro-Ams, is down in 23rd place and third in the Pro-Am race. So Zoran Spreng, our Pro-Am leader, making up for what was a difficult qualifying session. And indeed, Mikael Esman into second place in the Pro-Ams in 21st overall. We're riding on board with Robert De Haan. He has the view that he dreamt of when he arrived at the circuit this morning. An open track in front of him. His main rival, Larry Tenforder, his fellow countryman, some 1 second plus behind him. In third place, Theo Overhaus. Hu van Eindhoven coming back on Harry King to the outside, in towards someone, and there's contact between the two of them. You saw Harry King lifting up into the air. Surely there must be damage there. The two cars got together. It looks like they're able to continue. Harry King has the position, but what occurred between the two of them? You saw the car lifting up into the air into turn 3. Hu van Eindhoven clearly has damage. You saw him locking up, going into the corner. Now he's vulnerable to Janis Stiak. We're taking another look out along the pit straight. He went to shut the door on Harry King. The stewards will take a look at that. Under braking, the fastest point of the circuit. This is what it looked like from Hu van Eindhoven's perspective. This will be Brown alert, no doubt at all. The two cars come together. A small contact, almost turning into something large. You can see Harry King getting airborne. They approach turn 1 at something like 252 kilometers an hour in 6th gear, pulling about 7,700 revs. Robert De Haan, you can see how hard he's pushing. You saw the dirt being kicked up into the air, but Hu van Eindhoven, this is a disaster. What he really did not want after such a great qualifying session. The car is ailing. He falls to the back of the pack, and it looks as though his race is going to be over. Surely he's going to be peeling off into the pits before too long. So, high drama indeed. It's Robert De Haan who leads the way from Larry Tenforder, Theo Overhaus, then Harry King, Janis Stiak, Flint Schuring, Alex Tauscher. So, we're taking another look at the start here from the perspective of Larry Tenforder. Well, he wasn't especially tardy getting away. I tell you who was like the proverbial rat up the drain pipe, and that was Theo Overhaus. What a great start he had. But there was our front row drivers heading into Tarzan, and Robert De Haan, a very, very slight kiss with Larry Tenforder into turn 1, but it came out the advantage of Robert De Haan, the 17-year-old charger who takes no prisoners in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. This was his view. You see that Larry Tenforder moves across, tries to squeeze him. Larry Tenforder, such a fair driver, gives the space that is needed, but loses that first place. And this is what it looked like. You hear just a bit of wheel spin as he pulled away. You heard that from the on-board. Was there contact? Maybe not. Really good close racing. That's what we like. This is from Hu van Eindhoven. You see Theo Overhaus. What a great start from him, up into third place, looking for his first podium in the overall race. And Robert De Haan You can see it glancing at the mirrors to Larry Tenforder. There is predictably Huub van Eindhoven. He won't be smiling inside the car, sadly. He's got damage by the looks of things. His day is over. The GP Elite team, great team, local team. Their billboards are all around the circuit. Torsten van Haasteren, who heads up that team, does a great job preparing it. You can see it was a tyre that was down as a result of that contact, so they put a new tyre on it, but he will be at the absolute back in 24th position, and he's probably not going to be scoring any points. We've got 23 minutes remaining plus 1 lap of this race. So out comes Huub van Eindhoven to join at the back of the pack, well, certainly a lap down, and the rest of the cars coming streaming past. Our race leader, Robert de Haan. There is Huub van Eindhoven, just trying to file in. Be careful, chap, don't get in contact with some of the other cars coming round. There's Søren Spreng, the leader in the Pro-Am race. Right, now this is interesting. Søren Spreng, Ahmed Al-Shihab and Michael Esman are running absolutely together on the circuit. 20th, 21st and 22nd. They are in the Pro-Am race. Søren Spreng, who is the points leader in the Pro-Am Championship. Michael Esman, who missed one of the races at Oschersleben due to family commitments, so we'll be quite keen to get a good points haul here and make sure he's back in it. There's Marvin Clan. Now, what's he up to? 13th place. Remember, he started down in 20th place in this race, so he is working his way forwards through the pack, so up into 13th place. That's a really good move. He's just found a route past James Kellett, the UK driver who was disappointed with quali, felt as though he could have done better. Got blocked, he felt, by other cars around him, and started mid-order. Senna van Sørlen as well, one of the talent pool drivers, and we're riding on board with him. Target Racing, great to have them on the grid this year with Senna van Sørlen, such a promising young driver who is coming into Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany this year. Started karting when he was 6 years old and has been moving his way up through the ranks. He was in Ford Fiestas only a couple of years ago. He's really stepped up from there. He's raced in the BMW M2 Championship, and here he is now in the mighty Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. On board with him around the banked turn 3. It's flat out for Senna van Sørlen. A really tricky part of the track here because they come up the hill. It's a blind crest, and drivers I've spoken to saying it takes a lot of courage to keep your foot planted on the floor as you come up around turns 5 and 6, and then it's a bit of a downhill towards turn 7. We're on board with Flip Scheuring as well. Now, Flip Scheuring second in the rookie race, and he is 6th overall. So our leading rookie driver, Robert de Haan. You can see the graphic on your screen. The orange box indicates they're in the Rookie Championship. The blue box indicates they're in the Pro-Am Championship. So your leading rookie, Robert de Haan. Second in the rookies, Flint Scheuring. Third in the rookies, Cas Havercourt. Now, I have to say, Cas Havercourt, one of the drivers who's come into Porsche racing this year and has seriously impressed. Here he is now in 8th place, challenging Alex Tauscher. Alex, who's something of a veteran in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. He's been in this now for a couple of years, but he's lost a position to the local Cas Havercourt. Tries to come back along the pit straight in towards turn 1. Tauscher has the outside line, but Havercourt, under braking, steals the racing line away. He's still 7th place away from Alex Tauscher. So Cas Havercourt, one to watch. He was in the Sprint Challenge Southern Europe, Porsche Sprint Challenge Southern Europe over the winter. He won 2 races, won 2 times out of 4 races. He's come out to Formula Regional and open wheel racing. He has really taken to Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Was also very much stealing the headlines in Porsche Mobile 1 Super Cup as well. Somebody to watch out for. And here on his local circuit, moving forwards, relegating Alex Tauscher. Behind Tauscher is Ariel Levy, so he's making good progress up to 9th place. Our race leader continues to be Robert de Haan. He's extended it to about a 1.5 seconds. This is all about preservation of the tyres as Marvin Clan makes a move on Sebastian Freyman for position. The two cars make contact. Freyman pointing in the wrong direction, rejoins right in front of Horst Felix Felbermayr. Fortunately, no problems there in terms of contact between the two, but that was a disaster. So Marvin Clan up into 11th place, but the contact between the two, the stewards will take a look at that. That's already flashed up on our timing screen, so they are on that already. We'll let you know if there's any penalty to be served. Looked a little bit like Sebastian Freyman just defending that position, but we'll find out. On board with Senna van Serlen up the 18-degree banking, absolutely flat out in towards Selma. Let's take another look here. So there's Marvin Clan to the inside. He sees the gap. And then Sebastian Freyman, this is probably a better angle on it. So Clan is very much in the position there. Did he drift out wide from the corner? Well, it's down to the stewards to have a look. I have to tell you, I did a walk around the track the other day, and there are cameras everywhere. They have angles that we don't have. They will take a look at that. If there is anything that has been done wrong, they will jump on it and there will be a penalty issued. So it's down to them to make that decision. Meanwhile, at the front, Robert De Haan still leading the way. Now, Larry Tenforder has taken a couple of tenths out of it, but you just get the feeling that De Haan is looking after those tyres. They need to last for another 17.5 minutes. We're on board with Harry King. Started in P6, has made his way up into P4. He is the championship leader at the moment. By my dodgy calculations, if things remain as they are, he will not be the championship leader once the checkered flag falls. But there is still 17 minutes plus 1 lap remaining. And car 31 has received a black and white flag for a dangerous manoeuvre. So a black and white flag is a warning from the stewards. It's not an immediate penalty. If he gets many more of those during the season, he will get a grid drop. So that's Sebastian Freyman. We saw him with that moment with Marvin Clan. So the black and white flag has been given. The stewards are taking a look and they're saying, if you do that again, you may well get a penalty. Right, Harry King, you can see from your graphics, been up there for a while, he is the fastest man of the race, a 1:38.040. So he's the quickest man. He's caught up in traffic, though. On board with Flint Schuring, the driver, currently in 6th place. Janis Stiak ahead of him. Teammate to the race leader. Now Stiak just getting a bit of a wobble on. Someone in the background has just gone straight on into the gravel trap. Now, who is that? That is Janis Stiak. So, under braking, the driver who was so impressive at Oschersleben, now he is stranded in the gravel. Get the feeling we might be in for a safety car. In the meantime, Marvin Clan has received a penalty lap for pushing another car. So, not only did Sebastian Freyman pick up a penalty, well, a warning, but Marvin Clan has too. Right, looking again at the Stiak moment, he really did take an awful lot of speed. You can see the splitter parting company with the car as well. He did well to keep that out of the barriers. That was close. That was an awful lot of speed he was carrying into the corner. Almost kept it going, but gravel trap does exactly what it says, traps the car. You saw confirmation there. Marvin Clan has a penalty lap. Now, full course yellow. So we haven't gone safety car. Full course yellow means that all of the cars must reduce their speed to no more than 80 kilometers an hour. So the gaps should, in theory, stay the same. And that is Robert De Haan. Robert De Haan, has he got a puncture there? So Robert De Haan, we saw him just going through the picture. I was looking away from the screen. I just looked, and I'm just looking to see what is occurring with Robert De Haan. Maybe my eyes are playing tricks or not. Hopefully we'll get a different angle in a second. Yes, Robert De Haan with his hand up to his face. You can see how frustrated he is. Robert De Haan has run over some debris or something, but it looked to me like there was a puncture on that car. And he is into the pit lane. Yes, the left rear is deflated. So into the pits comes Robert De Haan, our race leader. So both of the Bernhard cars, Team 75 Bernhard cars, out of the race, or certainly out of the points, on the same lap. Janis Stiak first, bringing out the full course yellow. Robert De Haan, well, the door's open. You can see how distressed Robert De Haan is. He'd done all the hard work. He'd qualified. He'd beaten Larry Tenforder into the first corner, and now he is distraught in the car. Oh, such a shame. The local driver who won here in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux last year. The deflated tyre doesn't look like they're going to change it. Really not much points, because he will be well out of the points-paying position. So in the space of about half a lap, we have lost both of the Team 75 Bernhard cars. Robert De Haan climbs from the car.
I'm very sorry.
Receives consolation. There's his father, Kees De Haan, who is so proud of his son, who's doing such a good job in both Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, also in the Porsche Mobile 1 Super Cup. You see them looking at the car. So there's nothing I saw as to why he had a puncture. It may well have been debris. I don't think he made contact with anybody. You can see the team looking at the back end of the car. Meanwhile, Janis Stiak's car being removed as well. There's Janis Stiak looking on from the side. And he was so impressive at Oschersleben. But just getting it wrong, ending up in the gravel trap. So, full course yellow, the car's circulating at the same speed, 80 kilometers an hour, means the gaps don't close up. So, let's have a look, see what has occurred here. I'm taking photos, so it's clearly more than just a puncture, isn't it? And can't tell you any more than the fact that the tyre deflated, and there's clearly some other damage there as well for Robert De Haan. So the driver who was leading the race was looking really good to jump up. Coming into this, he was fourth in the points championship with 43 points, so some 37 points behind Larry Tenforder. That, of course, is going to extend. A bit of a get-out-of-jail-free card for Harry King, because that moves him ever closer to his main championship rival, Larry Tenforder, although, having said that, Larry Tenforder's also moved up to the lead. So it's all closed up a bit. Taylor Overhaus in second place, looking for his first ever podium in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. I have to double-check my records there, because Overhaus has been so quick all of last year. I can't believe he hasn't stood on the podium already, but actually 2 fourth places, Oschersleben, last time out, have been his best results. Right, on board with Larry Tenforder, there's Robert De Haan up ahead, up towards turn 6 and 7. Now, just trying to see whether we can see what might have occurred here. We're keeping one eye on the left rear, and suddenly, you see the car goes loose into the corner. Larry Tenforder is through, takes the lead. You see the back end suddenly, oh, and that's Janis Stiak. From the perspective of Flint Schuring, what a disastrous lap for Team 75 Bernhard. I should think that they will think that that lap was absolutely cursed. That was lap 8 of the race. Both of their drivers retiring from the race in separate incidents, completely unrelated. And there's the remnants of the tyre. And yeah, we won't be using that again, will we? A great souvenir for somebody. So the clock still runs under a full course yellow. Now, car 21 with that penalty lap, that is Marvin Clan. Up until now, he was in 9th place. So I don't think he's taken that penalty yet. We've had no notification that he's taken that. So he will need to jump into the penalty box. Penalty box is a wonderful innovation. It's a box that is painted on the track on the exit of the chicane. So that is out of turn 12. And he will need to pass through the penalty box at no more than 60 kilometers an hour. It's a 200-meter box that is off the racing line. Under racing speed, it would normally cost about 5 seconds. Obviously, under full course yellow, that is slightly different. But he'll need to pass through the penalty box as we see Janis Stiak walking back to the pits. So it's a penalty. It's not as bad as a drive-through, but it certainly is a penalty. And that was for pushing another car. We did see that contact with Sebastian Freimert, which created the gap. And then we saw Freimert trying to shut the door. There is Robert De Haan's mum, Herma, who is looking on as well. They had such high hopes. They've got a lot of guests here at Zandvoort this weekend. Still under full course yellow at the moment, but good that we haven't had a safety car in a sense, because all the gaps disappear by the safety car. At the moment, the gaps remain the same. A moment now just to mention Larry ten Voorde, who has been the hardest working man on the grid. We had notification that Jan Seifert has to fall back behind Keanu Bloom, so clearly the stewards have had a look at that. Larry ten Voorde last weekend, as if he hasn't got enough to do, he's in Porsche Carrera Cup Italia as well. He put it on pole position, one race won, then got in a plane, flew to the Nürburgring, took part in the Nürburgring 24-hour race, all 7 hours of it, finished in second place in class there, got back on a plane, flew back to Imola, took part in race 2, and won that from pole position as well. The driver got 3 podiums in 2 days. I expect he probably spent Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday sleeping. At least that's what I would have done. But Larry ten Voorde just can't get enough racing. He can't get enough of this race. He's leading the way. If things stay as they are now, he'll probably be leading the championship. We are back to green flag racing with less than 7 minutes plus 1 lap remaining. This is race 5 of a 16-race season for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Marvin Klan challenging James Kellett and Nathan Sharp as well. So is Klan going to go through to the penalty box? There is the box there on the exit of turn 12. We should see Marvin. Oh, and another problem. Sebastian Freimert parked up at the side of the track. This may well bring out another full course yellow. Now, what's happened here? He's got together, I think, with Gianluca Tucciaroglu and Horst Felix Felbermayr in there as well. That's a complete mess for the stewards to sort out. Whatever it is, now let's have a look. This is a better angle. He did get together with Jan Seifert. And clearly he's got some damage. Seifert also, you can see the smoke pouring from his car. So the dramas continue here at Circuit Zandvoort. And I reckon, as Seifert also parked up, the yellows are waving. We haven't gone full course yellow yet, but we may well do if the stewards believe that Sebastian Freimert is in a vulnerable position. Larry ten Voorde, still green flag at the moment, leading the way. Theo Overhaus, Harry King, that's your 1, 2, 3. Theo Overhaus looking for his first podium. Harry King, the points leader, seeing the person who is his nearest challenger up ahead of him, leading the race with 5.5 minutes plus 1 lap remaining. Harry King needs every point he can get. If he can get past Theo Overhaus, he may well be able to get back onto the top of the points championship. But as you can see, the full course yellow is out once again. Everything slowed down. Harry King did not need this. He wanted to get past Theo Overhaus, get those valuable points. To remind you, it's 25 points for a win, 20 points for second, 16 points for third. Harry King leads Larry ten Voorde by 7 points. So if he can get up to second place, he will retain the championship lead. Just to keep an eye on all else that is going on, our leading rookie after the departure of Robert De Haan is Flint Schuring, Cass Havercourt in second, Nathan Sharp in third, as we look again at what was a complete mess. So it was Jan Seifert who got together with Sebastian Freimert, as we've seen both cars out of it. Michael Essmann doing well to avoid that one. See him just squeezing through. So that's your 1, 2, 3 in the rookies, your 1, 2, 3 in the Pro-Am. Zoran Spreng, 15th overall, Ahmed Al-Shihab in 16th, Michael Essmann in 17th. There's a separate incident, probably connected. Horse Felix Felbermeyer in the wars. He'll be very frustrated about that. His best result so far has been a 5th place in race 2 at Imola. There is Jan Seifert, who will make his way back to the garage. So we're losing an awful lot of cars here. We've lost Janis Stiak, Robert de Haan, who Van Eindhoven is actually running, albeit a couple of laps down. Jan Seifert, Sebastian Freimut. Now, whether Horst Felix Felbermeyer, no, he's out of the car as well. So the Porsche spare parts department are going to be working overtime here. A lot of teams are going to be working hard to get these cars ready for race 2, which is tomorrow. There's Horst Felix Felbermeyer, the driver from the racing family. Sebastian Freimut just getting back in. I don't think he's going to drive it because you can see the right front is gone south. So they're just going to try and, I think, tow that car to a position of safety. Right, 3 minutes and 8 seconds left on the clock. Are we going to get a bit more green flag running? It's going to be a bit of a dash. Now, Harry King, you can guarantee that if this does get back to green flag, and I reckon it might just for a lap or two, Harry King is going to be launching everything at 2nd place, Theo Overhaus. He needs those points. Theo Overhaus looking for his first podium. He started on pole position at Imola, got into drama in the first lap and didn't finish that race. So looking to make up for that one. Surely it's not going to be long before we see him on the top step of the podium. As long as Larry Tenford is leading, as long as we're in the Netherlands, it's looking like a bit of a tall order. The clock is ticking down. Ooh, we still haven't moved the Freimut car yet. And, oh, is he taken out? So BWT have become VT, as you can see, courtesy of Sebastian Freimut. So a bit of a collision there, removing the car from the circuit. And hopefully we can get that moved and we can get a little bit more green flag racing in, because this could be a dash for the cash. Always listening in. It was a bit of a white knuckle ride listening into a live conversation. There's your 1, 2, 3. You see how close they are together. Now, in theory, on a full course yellow, the drivers, the gaps should stay about the same. Of course, it's all about how quickly and how slowly drivers decelerate when the full course yellow comes out. The stewards will be monitoring it, and they will be seeing if anybody has been speeding on the full course yellow. If this does go green, this could be very lively. The 1, 2, 3 running absolutely nose to tail. Up into 14 we come. So the score is, when the clock strikes 0, whatever lap the drivers are on, they get to finish that. And then there's one more lap after that. The problem is they're really struggling to move Sebastian Freimut's car. And you get a feeling that, well, we're going to cross the line here before the clock strikes 0. So it's going to be 2 more laps left of this race. Larry is saying, take your time, chaps. Take as much time as you need. I think Theo Overhaus is probably thinking that as well, because I don't expect him to be challenging Larry. Harry King, though, you can see how eager he is. Looks to the inside. He can't overtake, though. We're under full course yellow. Interestingly enough, Sebastian Freimut and Gianluca Tucciaroglu have been referred to the stewards for overtaking under a full course yellow. That has to be the previous one, because Sebastian Freimut's not running at this particular full course yellow. Right, we are green with 5 seconds left on the clock. So a lap and 3/4 left of this race. Harry King will be throwing caution to the wind. He's not interested in 3rd place. He's lining up Theo Overhaus. Out towards turn 5 they come. He looks to the outside. Theo Overhaus on the inside line. He moves to shut the door. Larry Tenford, in the meantime, moves out in front. Theo Overhaus, a gap to the inside. Harry King through on the inside, and is into 2nd place for Harry King. Exactly what he needed, but Theo Overhaus coming back. It's Britain versus Germany, but it's Harry King in into that second place. Theo Overhaus relegated to third. Now, will he be able to make a move back again? Larry Tenforder in all of this is able to stretch his legs at the front. Out towards turn 11 they come. The heavy braking into the chicane, and then it'll be 12 and 13, and then around the big banking to start the final lap of the race. This will be Theo Overhaus' best opportunity to try and get back to Harry King, but he has dropped back slightly. Into turn 14 they come. It'll be flat out up onto the banking and then onto the pit straight. Harry King well clear now of Theo Overhaus in that second place. I think Overhaus is too far back to make a dive bomb move into turn 1. Further back you see Flint Schuring, Cas Havercourt looking to take the lead of the rookie race. He looks to the outside into turn 1. Flint Schuring has it covered off. Flint Schuring has done many laps around this circuit. Behind them, Alex Tauscher and Ariel Levy. So Ariel Levy very much in it still in 7th place. Alex Tauscher's done well in 6th place as well. Looking at turn 3, there's Flint Schuring going up high. Cas Havercourt there. Then it's Alex Tauscher. Then it's Ariel Levy. The final lap of the race is all kicking off here in the closing stages of race 5 of the season here at Circuit Zandvoort. Look at Flint Schuring hurling it across the corners. Spectacular stuff. But the local man, Larry Tenforder, trying to make it a Dutch win in front of the Dutch fans. He won both races from pole position here last year. He has plans to do the same this year. Well, it won't be from pole position tomorrow. There's a spoiler. But he could well win it. He's looking odds on to win this one, though, isn't he? Out towards turn 11 we come for the very last time. Larry Tenforder, Harry King, Theo Overhaus, then a gap back to this. The fight for the rookie win. Flint Schuring, Cas Havercourt behind. Third in the rookies is Nathan Sharp. He's down in 9th place. But this is going to go all the way to the line. This fight in the Rookie Championship. You can see how tense the teams are. The Proton Huber team looking on as their man comes out of 14 for the very last time. It's Larry Tenforder who wins race 5 at Circuit Zandvoort. Harry King in 2nd place. Theo Overhaus, his first ever podium in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany in the overall race, ahead of Flint Schuring, who wins to the rookies, ahead of Cas Havercourt, Alex Tauscher, Ariel Levy. Marvin Clan from 20th place to 8th. What a great job. Nathan Sharp in 9th. James Kellett, good job in 10th. 11th, Senna van Zerlen, Colin Bernighausen, Gianluca Tucciaroglu, Kiana Bloom in 14th. Then we're going to wait to see who the Pro-Am winner is. Still waiting for that one to happen, waiting for them to cross the line, and it is Zoran Spreng who wins at the Pro-Am, ahead of Ahmed Al-Shahab and Michael Essmann. But that man, Larry Tenforder, taking yet another win, his 32nd win. Yes, 32nd win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Having another look here at that move. Harry King, he looked to the outside. Theo Overhaus looked to have him covered off. Left a big gap on the inside, though. You can see Harry King. He sees that space. Was there contact? I don't think there was. I think just great driving from Harry King. He slots the car in there. Through he goes into 2nd place. I think Theo Overhaus will be as happy as can be expected with that. His first overall podium in the overall race. Of course, a rookie champion of past, but in the overall race, to get his first podium, no mean feat. Let's just take a look at the classification. Larry Tenforder, Harry King, Theo Overhaus, Flint Schuring, Cas Havercourt, Alex Tauscher, Ariel Levy, and Marvin Clan rounding out the top 8. Great stuff from Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. In 9th place, Nathan Sharp. A lot of pressure for him in his first season in Carrera Cup Germany, ahead of James Kellett, also first time racing here at Zandvoort, Senna van Zerlen. Colin Bernighausen, who's also racing in the Benelux Series this weekend. Gianluca Tucciaroglu, Kiana Bloom, and then Zoran Spreng winning for the Pro-Ams ahead of Ahmed Al-Shihab, Michael Essmann, Carol Kraut in 18th place, and then Huban Eindhoven, who after that puncture recovered into 19th place. Then we had Horst Felix Felbermeyer, Sebastian Freimer, Jan Seifert, Robert De Haan, Janis Stiak, all non-finishers. Taking another look here, Larry Tenforder crossing the line in slow motion. We're pretty used to seeing that here at Zandvoort, But it is a tough year. Anybody who thought Larry Tenforder was going to march into this and steal this championship away, very, very much mistaken. Such a competitive field that was on board with Larry Tenforder. And winning here, Larry Tenforder, the only driver to ever won 3 titles in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, ahead of Harry King. Theo Overhaus, who was also the Middle East champion this year, Porsche Carrera Cup Middle East champion. A dominant win in the Rookie Championship last year, but his eyes are on the overall championship. There's a hat mysteriously moving its way across the podium. Right, into Parc Ferme they come. He never gets bored with winning. The man who stood on the podium 3 times last weekend, with lots of miles as well. Right, there you can see confirmation. Harry King continues to hold on to his championship lead by just 2 points from Larry Tenforder. Theo Overhaus, he's moved into 3rd, but 48 points behind. There's still a long way to go. It's only race 5 of a 16-race season. So 11 races still to go. Huub van Eindhoven drops the position. He will be so frustrated. Spoiler alert, tomorrow, Huub van Eindhoven will be starting the race from pole position. You need to watch that. It's going to be exciting. And he will be determined to make up for what has been a very disappointing day today. So the drivers just making their way to the podium. A moment of reflection. Larry Tenforder, you think he'd get bored of winning, wouldn't you? Never. The driver who, if he finishes anywhere other than on the podium, it's something of a shock. The most successful driver in the history of Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. The stats, well, I have to keep updating them all the time because every time he races, he's breaking records. He stood on the podium for more than 50% of the races he's taken part in. That is truly impressive. And his 32nd win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Just looking down from Tarzan, turn 1 along the pit straight. Sebastian, the team at Proton Huber competition, will be celebrating Larry Tenforder, but they will also need to get to work on the number 31 car, as that will need to be repaired. There's Theo Overhaus. And having scored his first ever overall podium, not looking overly excited at the moment, but a fairly understated driver. You talk to him, he's fairly quiet. Putting behind the wheel of a car is like a man possessed. And one of the real superstars in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. We saw him briefly in DTM. We've seen him in ADAC GT4 Germany. And a real superstar he is for Bonk Motorsport. There is Theo Overhaus, lovely slow motion of the number 34 car, part of their talent pool. We haven't even spoken about that yet, have we? Wonderful initiative for 8 of the young drivers. There's Harry King from Great Britain for Jan Kasperlik's Allied Racing. He'll be very pleased with that. Disappointing quali, damage limitation, retains the championship lead, but who can stop that man? Larry Tenforder for Proton Huber competition, returned back to the team where it all started this year, has taken on the number 1 on the car, the gold and black livery, and he takes the number 1 position here at Circuit Zandvoort, race 5 of this 2024 season for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. And you see, I just love the fact he never gets bored. You'd think it was his first ever win, wouldn't you? Wonderful stuff. Really, really good to see. Well, the sun has come out, so the doom mongers who said it was going to rain, and it's a bit windy, but it's glorious here. I think tomorrow the forecast is better than today, so we're hoping for 2 dry races here. Well, that's 1 done and dusted. It'll be race 6 tomorrow. And that will take place at 11:35 local time. We'll be on at 11:30. Quali has taken place already. That was yesterday, as the drivers just make their way onto the podium. Huri Isaac, who I believe will be presenting some trophies in a little bit. There's Theo Overhouse. Harry King just climbing the steps up to the podium. Takes a while to get up there. Curry, who is one of the real characters, the project manager of customer sport of Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, Porsche Germany. Congratulating the drivers, celebrity in his own right. There's Toby Shimon, microphone in hand, getting ready to introduce the drivers onto the podium. It's like behind the scenes, this, isn't it? The making of. Right, onto the podium, Theo Overhouse from Germany. And onto the third step of the podium, his first ever overall podium in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Second place, Allied Racing's Harry King, the driver who we saw win in Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup last year. But who can stop this man? Larry Tenforder taking his 32nd win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. We'll get a representative from Proton Huber competition. I believe it's Davide No, who's going to be coming on to the podium to represent Proton Huber. And now we have the national anthem. Well, last time Larry Tenforder stood on the podium, he had to sing the national anthem, so that spared us all that particular one, didn't it? So here we are, the Dutch national anthem. Heard that a few times in the last couple of years, haven't we? Not just in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany either. Right, trophy presentation. Huri Isaac, project manager, customer sport, Porsche, presenting to Theo Overhouse. Ali Reza Gordi, the Vice President of Area South Porsche Germany, presenting the second place trophy to Harry King. And it'll be Thomas Illner who presents the winning trophy to Larry Tenforder, the COO of Porsche Germany, who presents the winner's trophy. Larry playing to the crowd like he only knows. And then the team trophy also being presented to Davide No. So, champagne in hand. Oh no, hang on, we're going to do a photo first. Everybody squeeze in, and then those who are wise will run for cover. Everyone smile as we conclude race 5. And now the photos are done, and it'll be time for the celebrations to start. To conclude race 5 of this, and everyone legs it, including Harry King. So the remaining 2 celebrating on the podium, but the celebrations will be short-lived because our focus will turn to tomorrow. Tomorrow it will be race 6 of a 16-race season. It will be Huub van Eindhoven who will start from pole position. It's going to be dramatic. There is no doubt about that. So join us tomorrow at 11:30 local time for race 6 of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.